Well, good day, Salina First Church family. Jumping on today for our Lenten Devotional, and I'm prompted by, if you're on Facebook, you know that Facebook generates memories from years ago. And the past couple weeks, I've been looking at memories from 2020. And obviously, March is when we started this pandemic, and just over a year ago, we had our first video sermon and was setting up in the back room for what would end up becoming 10 weeks of pausing in-person worship services. But I laughed with Becca the other night about how positive early Craig was. The first Sunday we had to cancel, I kind of got on and I did this video, and so it's saved for all posterity, and said, we think it's just going to be a week or two. We got to see where this thing goes, but people are a little nervous, so we're just going to shut down. And I realized how naive I really was. Now, I was naive because I didn't have the information, but I was also naive because I had my own plans, and I had my thoughts of what I was going to try and make happen. And if you would have told me at the beginning, you'll be closed for 10 weeks, you're going to miss Easter in 2020, I would have laughed at you and said, there's no way that's going to happen. And it reminds me of this verse in James. We've talked a lot about this, and you've noticed a change in my language since we've come back from coronavirus. I want to read it to you for our devotion today. This is James 4:13 through 16. Now listen, you who say, today or tomorrow we will go to this city or that city, spend a year there, carry on business, and make money. Why you do not even know what will happen tomorrow. What is your life? You are a mist that appears for a little while and then vanishes. Instead, you ought to say, if it is the Lord's will, we will live out this or do that. As it is, you boast in your ignorant, arrogant schemes, and all such boasting is evil. Before 2020, I really struggled with this verse. I didn't understand why. I'm a very type A person, and I like to make plans, and I'm the kind of guy that says, we're going to do that, and here's a 3-month goal, a 6-month goal, a 12-month goal, a 5-year goal, these kinds of things. That's very natural to me, and I struggle to understand James's counsel here. Why would making of such plans be evil? And what I realized is such plans discount the humanity of Craig, realizing that I can't even control tomorrow. Of course, I had a head knowledge of that, but 2020 gave me a deep, deep soul knowledge that we are not in control. And I see, even in my early language in the pandemic, saying, this is what we're going to do, this is where we're going to be, and even though I was trying to be a little bit guarded, I know my heart and my thought behind it. Well, since we've returned, you've noticed that almost every week, I've said something like, and should the Lord will, we'll gather again next week to continue to worship Him. And what it does is it's not just a language piece, but it's a reminder that we are not in control of tomorrow. We are really just in control of this moment. And our life is a vapor that is here one day and gone tomorrow. So that's not a preclusion from making plans, but it is a preclusion from thinking that we are God and we can guarantee those plans. Think back to a year ago of how unsettled everything felt. Kids were being taken out of school, they were closing down daycares, and all of us felt like the world was upside down, and maybe you still feel like that a little bit, though a year later I hope you're feeling better than last March. Today my encouragement is to trust God with not just today, but also tomorrow. Today my encouragement is to look upon your plans and say, should it be your will, Lord, I would like to do this. And holding things with an open hand. Because here's the problem, when you hold things with a closed hand, like I did last year, it hurts way more when they get ripped from you. When you come to things with an open hand and say, should it be the Lord's will? This is my hope, but ultimately God is in control, and He's the number of our days, and He is over all things. He is the Alpha, He is the Omega, and what comes is His will, and I will try and walk in it the best I can. Well, it doesn't hurt when you lose those things, but at least it didn't get ripped out of your hand. So how do you view your days this day? Has Corona taught you that this day is the Lord's and tomorrow is the Lord's, and any plans are the Lord's will? Maybe we can take heed from the book of James, and it's something I don't want to slip back into my life thinking that I control my days and I have numbered my days, when in reality, all of it, should it be the Lord's will, we'll be here again next week. And that is the best we can do. It reminds us of our mortality, but it also reminds us of the one whom we worship, who does control the days. Just something I wanted to offer to you this week as our Lenten devotional. Hope you have a good day.